Jesus. You know, I was thinking as I was closing up this message about this, how can I make each day count? How can every single day count? How can I make every single day model the fact that I have indeed been changed? How can you model your days, the fact that you have been changed? I'm gonna give you 4 things as I close I want you to write down. Number 1, if you want each day to count, in your life, number 1, you should set your mind daily on the gospel. If you want every single day to count, set your mind daily on the gospel. For some of you, that might mean that you put gospel reminders in front of you. It might mean that you got like a phone and put a reminder on your phone or a sticky note. I wouldn't recommend like a Sharpie marker like my daughter does. She'll write on her arms. You know, adults, you may not want to do that. But you might just find a way that you can just put gospel reminders in front of you. Remind yourself that you can't do any of this, but Christ can do all of it. Remind yourself that you are not worthy, but Christ has made you 100% worthy. Remind yourself that even though you're weak, even though you're anxious, even though you're stressed, Christ is strong. Christ is your peace, and Christ is the calmer of all storms. You need to remind yourself what Christ has done for you, that once you were dead and now you are alive. Once you were blind and now you're see. Once you were walking in darkness and now you're walking in light. Therefore, that day that you have, that you're in that moment and that right there, you can make that day count because your mind is set on the foundation of the truth that God has given you. Number 2, if you want each day to count, make it an aim to bless other people. If you want your days to count, make it an aim, make it a goal to bless others. Make it a goal that you speak gospel truths into the lives of other people. Look to their happiness, look to their peace. Increase what their souls are looking for, and that is the liberating rescue plan of an almighty Savior. That's how you make every day count. You make an aim to bless others. Number 3, if you want each day to count, then obey His word. Develop a deeper hunger for His word. Look at His word as true and holy. Jesus said in John 14:15, if you love me, you'll obey what I command. So look to His word. Look to Him for guidance and wisdom and truth and life. And number 4, if you want each day to count, celebrate the gift of prayer. Celebrate it as a gift. When you're in your car, when you're at work, going for a jog. If I'm running, I'm probably praying that God keeps me alive because there's probably a bear behind me. But when you're wherever you are, you should pray and look at that as a privilege. I like what our pastor has taught us. When someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, will you pray for me?" Don't just say, "Oh yeah, I will," but just at that moment, drop everything you're doing, pray for that person right there. If they say it's an unspoken, don't say, "Well, what is it?" Don't do that. Just pray. You know, if they don't want to share what it is, but they need a brother and sister to affirm them to the Father, then you pray. This is what it means for us to have our days count. We set our mind daily on the gospel. We make it an aim to bless others. We obey His word, and we celebrate the gift of prayer. And this